Welcome to Looking Within, a podcast for the spiritual explorer in each of us. I'm Julie. I love to explore the inner life using contemplative practices, and I love to help others to do the same. In our time together, I hope you gain a sense of hope, meaning, joy, and love. As a Christian spiritual explorer, I hope to offer some thoughts to help you see God's presence and activity in ever-expanding ways. As you listen, ponder, and experience the divine, feel free to use the spiritual perspective you are most comfortable with in our practice today. Now, let's begin. Today we continue our series of Looking Within episodes that coincide with the season of Lent. We're calling these weeks our Lent experience. Through regular episodes on Monday and bonus episodes on Wednesdays and Fridays, we've been exploring parts of the Henry Nouwen book, Life of the Beloved. Nouwen offers us 4 words as he explores what it means to become the beloved daughter or son of God. Those words are chosen, blessed, broken, and given. Having looked at the first 2 words of chosen and blessed, today we'll begin to explore the word broken. It is a fact of life that all the people we know or know about are broken, including ourselves. It is part of being human. Nouwen says that our brokenness is, quote, so visible and tangible, so concrete and specific, that it is often difficult to believe that there is much to think, speak, or write about other than our brokenness, end quote. The awareness of our brokenness is never far beneath the surface because we all know that none of us will escape death, the ultimate manifestation of brokenness. Nouwen points out that our brokenness reveals something about who we are. He says our sufferings and pains, quote, are not simply bothersome interruptions of our lives. Rather, they touch us in our uniqueness and our most intimate individuality, end quote. This seems to ring true. We might have parts of our paths that bear a similarity to someone we know or have read about, but ultimately our unique history, the families we were born into, the bodies and brain chemistries that we have, the struggles and traumas that we have had in our lives, the ways in which we cope or suffer, and the perspectives on life we have been taught or learned. All of this is what makes our experience of our journey deeply personal. Our brokenness is truly ours, nobody else's. Nouwen also observes that in the society in which we live, this very personal experience is generally an experience of inner brokenness, a brokenness of the heart, as we human beings search and long for connection and communion with others. He observes that although many suffer from physical and mental disabilities or from the lack of basic human needs, the suffering of human beings may be most prevalent on a day-to-day basis as the suffering found within broken relationships and from feelings of being rejected, ignored, despised, and left alone. This is when we depend on someone or some persons in our life to stand by us through our suffering. This is when the deep knowing that the presence of the divine surrounds and holds us is profoundly helpful and life-giving. And this is when we're called to claim our brokenness, to face it squarely, and to befriend it. That's a tall order, isn't it? When every fiber of our being tells us that suffering and pain are unwelcome intrusions into our lives and things to be avoided at all costs, Nouwen advises us to step toward our pain, not away from it, to overcome our fear of facing something in our past or in the present, and to become familiar with it, to befriend it. Naming things, clearly acknowledging something, is very powerful. It's the starting place for something in our lives, and often in recovery programs as well. It's the first step to healing. When I was little, our family had a clear glass votive candle holder that had been decorated with irregular pieces of colored glass that were glued to it. I think I had made it at school or perhaps in Girl Scouts. There were cracks of clear glass showing between the colored pieces due to the irregular edges of the pieces of colored glass. But actually, this made for an interesting blend of clear and muted light and color. There was beauty in its apparent irregularity, in its brokenness. It is said that when the Japanese mend broken objects, they honor and elevate the damage by filling the cracks with gold. For they believe that when something has suffered damage and has a history, it becomes more beautiful. Our inner struggles and suffering create a kind of beauty. We are uniquely made. We travel on unique journeys. Our brokenness presents us with golden opportunities to develop an inner strength and to grow in compassion, love, forgiveness, and empathy for both ourselves and for others. Let's think about this during our quiet moments together when I'll share a quote with you by Anna White. In this quiet space and time, I'd invite you to gently close your eyes. I'll sound the Tibetan singing bowl, which will call you to look within. As you're listening to the bowl's reverberations, take 3 deep breaths. Then let your breathing return to normal whenever you'd like. Hear the sound of the bowl now. Let it center you. Let it remind you that God is here with you. Here's a quote by Anna White. Being broken isn't the worst thing. We can be mended and put together again. We don't have to be ashamed of our past. We can embrace the history that gives us value and see our cracks as beautiful. For the next few minutes, ponder your past and present, spotting challenging periods of time in your past life and any areas of suffering or brokenness in your present life. Bring those areas in close. Love them. Honor those times in your life that were challenging, even painful, but that you've lived to tell about. Embrace everything about yourself, seeing the beauty in what at first seems broken and beyond repair. I'll be back with you in about 3 minutes. I'd invite you now to take a few deep breaths in and out. In and out. Let these breaths fill you with strength and energy. Hear me sound the Tibetan singing bowl, and as the sound of the bowl reverberates and slowly dies away, you can gently open your eyes, remaining still for a moment longer. I've heard it said that our struggles don't define us, they refine us. Like the refining of gold, the fires of suffering and brokenness can make us stronger, more beautiful, more unique, more priceless. In addition, our brokenness presents us with golden opportunities to first grow in compassion, love, forgiveness, and empathy for both ourselves and for others, and also to grow in the ability and willingness to offer grace to both ourselves and to others, realizing more and more that we're all just doing the best that we can. Today we've continued on our journey through Lent and our Looking Within Lent experience. I hope you'll join me again on Wednesday as we continue our conversations about walking through brokenness as a beloved of God. Thank you for making time for your inner self today. Whatever you've discovered and experienced, carry that with you in the coming days. You can find more episodes at our website, gloria-day, that's DEI.com/lookingwithinpodcast, or subscribe through your favorite podcast app. We'll see you next time.